Welcome back, everyone, here to Bronx Talks. Today, we are going to be talking about five players we believe could have breakout years in 2024 for the New York Yankees. A lot of these guys we feel are close to really breaking out and being big impact players for the Yankees in the 2024 season. So, Christian, who do we have up first?
First player we have is Alex Verdugo, traded over to the Yankees from the Red Sox. A very rare trade. But look, I think this guy could thrive in not only Yankee Stadium, but in the Yankee environment. It was no secret Verdugo didn't have the best relationship with Cora. And, they were the Red Sox were almost pushing Verdugo out of there. They didn't really want him for the final season. And now he's a Yankee. So it's a big switch, but first thing is Verdugo, I think, is in a much better environment here. I think he's going to connect well with Boone, Judge, and I think he'll fit in perfectly, especially since, he is coming to a team that really needed a left fielder. So he's going to be embraced by fans very quickly. And then also, the obvious fact is you have a lefty bat coming to Yankee Stadium. So I don't know. I'm not sure if he's even had a home run total that's hit 20 or higher before, but I do think that number can climb because, he can almost shape his swing uh, to find that short porch. And, we don't want him pulling every ball, but he's sort of a crafty lefty hitter. So I think he can use the parts of the field to his advantage. And I really think that could take him a step above what he's been in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. He's also sort of out of the spotlight a little bit. I mean, he is coming to New York, new team and stuff like that. But in Boston, he was that guy. He was the one, putting fans in the seats, selling those jerseys. Now with the Yankees, it's not like that. He's more involved with the team. Probably doesn't have to take on as big of a leadership role as he had to do in Boston. So that's different. And he's in a contract year too, looking to prove something. You got him in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. So we'll see what we can do there. But I could definitely see Alex Verdugo having a breakout year, especially with that lineup. Some of those lineups in Boston were not great, although Boston was able to score runs, but not a lot of names that jump out at you in that lineup make you go, wow. Up next, we have Clark Schmidt. We mentioned Clark Schmidt last year on players we believe that could break out. And Clark Schmidt had a solid year, okay year. He got off to a really, really slow start. But then, once sort of we got to midpoint during the season, he really started to pick it up. And I think there was like some stat, like he had like the second most starts or third most starts in the American League or something, giving up 3 runs or less. He went on some crazy stretch there. Um, and Clark Schmidt, this is probably going to be his second year as a starter, second full year as a starter. So that's big. He's continuing to grow, he's continuing to develop. And is this the year Clark Schmidt goes out there and proves, he could be a 2-3 starter in this league and really prove the type of pitcher the Yankees got when they drafted him? It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But second full season for Clark as a starter. So we'll see what we got there. But I'm definitely hoping for great things out of Clark Schmidt.
Yeah, he's got to eliminate the blow up starts, right? We can't be giving up, 7 runs in the first inning. That just can't happen because that's really what those are the type of games that can really just ruin your season. If he can be that consistent pitcher all the way, and he has starts where he is dirty and just racking up strikeouts. So look, I think he has steps to go, but I think we could definitely see a big leap this year. Another guy is Anthony Volpe. He had a solid rookie season. I think no matter what Yankee fan you ask, they'll probably have a different opinion on Volpe's 2023 season. Me and Ryan's stance is it was solid for a rookie, right? He won a Gold Glove. He hit some homers, but granted, the average was not there. He was not getting on base as much as he should have. Is he going to take that big leap this year? I think there's a very good chance he can, right? But bottom line, Volpe just needs to get a little bit better from last year. And look, if he does break out this year, then great. And we'll be the happiest guys in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Sophomore season for Anthony Volpe, that's when you kind of look and see, what kind of talent, what kind of stuff are we going to get out of this player? And I think we saw a lot of great things from Anthony Volpe last year. I think we saw a lot of things he needs to improve on as well. I think this year we're really going to look for the development. Has he changed and corrected his mistakes from last season? And if he can, that's going to make him a much better ball player. And, his skill set combined with his athleticism, if he could put that together this season, or even start to put that together this season, he's only 22 years old. I think he's turning 23 this year. It's going to be very, very beneficial for the Yankees. It's going to be very, very beneficial for Anthony Volpe. And we can see great things from Anthony Volpe. And I wouldn't be surprised, if this kid really tears the cover off the ball and has a great season. I'm not saying that will happen, don't get me wrong, but we know the talent, we know the skill sets there. So I think it's definitely possible. And potentially we could see a breakout season this year from Anthony Volpe. Up next, we have Anthony Volpe's best friend, Austin Wells. Austin Wells was a September call up last season. When he first got called up, kind of a slow start, as many rookies do. As a lot of rookies get called up. He wasn't in AAA for long at all. He was playing well in AAA, but I don't think he was there for a while. He came up slow start, but then I believe, Christian, the last week or last 2 weeks of the season, he really started to catch fire, and he was hitting a lot of home runs towards the last 2 weeks of the season. Austin Wells, he's going to be working with Jose Trevino this year. He's going to be getting a lot of playing time. Let's see what this kid could do. Left-handed swing in Yankee Stadium. Who knows? Maybe the Yankees find their catcher for the foreseeable future, and maybe for even longer than that. I don't really know what to expect out of Austin Wells. We didn't see him enough last season. We only saw him for a month compared to Volpe we saw throughout the whole entire year. I don't know what to expect out of Austin Wells, right? But he did start to tear it up towards the end of the season. We saw a guy like Jason Dominguez, who didn't play in AAA basically at all, come up last year and just tear the cover off the ball and looked like this guy was playing baseball on another planet. We've seen it with rookies before. Another Yankee catcher, Gary Sanchez, got called up and looked like he was the second coming, right? But we just don't know what to expect out of Austin Wells. We do know the talent is there, so you never know. It could be a breakout year for Austin Wells in the Bronx.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has the tools. He just kind of has to put them together. And look, if he did what he did at the plate last year for a catcher, I think we'd all be happy with that. So, if he could take a few more steps, yeah, the Yankees are looking very, very good at the catcher position. And the last guy we have is Victor Gonzalez, probably the least flashy guy on this list. He's a relief pitcher. So, those guys are never going to get that much praise. But, he's coming over from the Dodgers. We traded him in addition with Yorbit Vivas for Trey Sweeney, who was a very high prospect in the Yankees system. So not only is this guy a very solid lefty reliever, but I'd like to think the Yankees saw something in him that made them really want this guy. I think he's almost going to act as an upgraded version of Wandy Peralta. And, about a 4 ERA in the bullpen last year in 34 games, I think we could see that ERA go down to like the 2 range. And I think we could see an absolute dominant season from this guy. I really think you put him in Matt Blake's hands and really the whole Yankees pitching program, they could really get to work with this guy and turn him into a very good reliever. So it's almost sort of like my prediction for the season, but watch out
Mm.
for this guy. I think he's going to play a huge part in the Yankees bullpen.